Okay, let's simplify a complex fraction. So if you look at my example on the PowerPoint, I have 5x divided by 6y cubed divided by 2x, or negative 2x, divided by 3y. So if you look, that is complex. There's a fraction in the numerator and there's a fraction in the denominator. And there's a bar separating them. So the first thing you're going to do is rewrite it horizontally, left to right, like you're used to seeing the expression. So the way you write it left to right is the way you read it. So you write the first fraction, 5x over 6y cubed. Okay? You would write divided by negative 2x over 3y. So you know a complex fraction is always going to be connected by division. Well, we've learned we never divide in fraction world. We always multiply by the reciprocal, or the correct word, multiplicative inverse. So everybody knows when they see a complex fraction that we're going to have to eventually rewrite division as multiplication. So you can actually, if you wanted to skip that step of writing it as division horizontally and just write it as multiplication. So that's what I did on the PowerPoint. I wrote the first fraction, 5x over 6y cubed. I knew a complex fraction means division, but I know we can't divide in fraction land. So instead I'm going to rewrite this as multiplication. So I put the multiplication symbol. And now that bottom fraction, I'm going to have to flip, do the multiplicative inverse of. So that bottom fraction is still going to be negative, but now the 3y is going to the numerator and the 2x is going to the denominator. All right? Now we're back to multiplying fractions. We know that song. Multiplying fractions is no problem, top times top, bottom times bottom. Before you start to multiply, factor first, then divide. Because all our expressions are monomials, there's no need to factor. We just need to start reducing, dividing. So I'm going to start with my first numerator, 5x. And I could take that x in the numerator and divide it with that x in the denominator. So now the x's are gone. I could take my second numerator, 3y, and divide it with my denominator, 6y cubed. 3 goes into 6 twice. Y goes into y cubed, y squared. So now I have 5 over 2y squared times negative 1 over 2. And now I'll multiply across. A positive times a negative is a negative. 5 times 1 is 5. And 2y squared times 2 is 4y squared. So the moral of the story is this, ladies and gentlemen. When you see a complex fraction on top of each other, don't get nervous. Complex fractions are always connected with a fraction bar, which is what operation? Right, it's division. When you rewrite that, you can automatically jump right in and rewrite it as multiplication, because we never divide in fraction land. And when you rewrite it as multiplication, remember to take the second fraction and flip it. Do the multiplicative inverse. All right, let's go to the whiteboard.